So a few videos ago when I celebrated my 7,000th subscriber, I asked you all what you wanted to see. I asked for some requests for my channel, and I had a lot of feedback that you all wanted to see what a real country cemetery in Kentucky looks like. So today I'm in a small community called Hitchens, Kentucky, which is barely just a dot on the map. But I'm going to show you what a true country cemetery in Kentucky looks like. And stay tuned, I'm going to show you a few things that has to do with my family and actually let you all visit and meet my grandfather. So stick with me to the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. Now let's take a look at what a real country cemetery in Kentucky looks like. And in Kentucky, it seems a lot of these old cemeteries are put right on top of a hill, and I always wondered why why would you want to do that? It's just such an inconvenience to try to get to, but someone explained that to me that made a lot of sense. You know, a lot of these people, these farmers, back in those days, back in the day that these cemeteries were built, you know, they relied on farmland to be able to feed their family. You know, this summer's crops a lot of times had to last until next summer, so they didn't want to waste good farmland with something like a cemetery. So that is why that a lot of these cemeteries are on top of hills. And as you can see here, we are definitely on top of a hill like I mentioned. And I'm going to try to get a better look at that too, so you can see a little bit more of what I'm talking about. But this particular cemetery is called Bowling Cemetery. And like I said, it's in a small community in Kentucky called Hitchens, Kentucky. And you can see here that it is fenced in. And another reason for that, you know, we're in Kentucky, and I mean, you're basically in the woods. So, you know, you don't want any creatures or anything roaming around through here and getting in the cemetery. So we have a lot of deer and things like that around here, so that helps protect the grounds. All right, so let's go ahead and open the gate and go in. You can see that the grounds up on top of the hill here, it's actually a little bit of a flat spot. And just take a look out this way though. This is definitely a very picturesque view from up here, very peaceful. So yeah, this is some views of the hills of Kentucky where I'm from. And I don't know how well this can be seen on camera, but this is definitely quite the slope right here. And this is just, like I said, just kind of on the side of a hill. A small flat spot on top, but it is mostly hillside here. I walked over the hill just a little bit so you can get a better perspective as to what I'm talking about. The hillside, or the top of the hill that I was just on, the flat spot, you can't even see it from here. There is such a slope to get back up. So like I said, you didn't really take the best land for cemeteries, but this is a great spot and a very peaceful place nonetheless. Just taking a look at some of the markers in here, some of the designs, you can see that, you know, they range from just your standard markers that you would see in any cemetery to, and some of these are definitely homemade and very primitive. And here's another marker in here that's, I mean, you can see that it's starting to be reclaimed by nature, it looks like, and that's eventually going to happen to everything. If you hear a little noise in the background, we are in Kentucky, so there is a tractor that's actually going by. And if you don't mind, go ahead and like this video and leave me a comment. I would love to know what you think about this cemetery visit so far. Like I said, this is going to be the first in a series of me where I visit old country cemeteries. Now, I mentioned before at the beginning of the video that there's some ties to my family in here, and I'm actually going to show you the grave of my great-grandmother buried in this little cemetery. And about a year ago, I did a video of my grandfather talking about some of the memories of his mother, which is the grave we're about to visit. So I took some video of that. I want you all to listen to him as he talks about his mother. And, if you don't mind, leave a comment for him too. I know he would get a thrill out of hearing from you. Now, this is the grave of my great-grandparents, Dewey and Florence Salmons.
Remember, she always provided for us. She always cooked and made sure we had stuff to eat, plenty to eat. And even though now we were poor, but we didn't know it because everybody else was the same way. The whole community is the same way. She worked hard, raised 10 kids of her own, and had 4 step kids, so a total of 14. She had 7 sons, and 5 of them was in service of the 7.
As you can see here, there's a little gravel road that leads up to the cemetery, but I do want you all to take a look at this again. Just look at the countryside up here. Like I said, it is so peaceful and just such a beautiful location for a cemetery. And honestly, for this area, this was really an easy cemetery to get to. Now, there are some of these old family cemeteries that I am telling you, I would not want to even try to attempt to make it to them without the use of a 4-wheel drive vehicle. But good news for you all, I'm going to make those visits, and I want to bring that to you and show you what some of the other types of cemeteries in Kentucky and in the country looks like. So I wanted to come to this one. This one has a special place to me in my heart. If it weren't for some of the people in this cemetery, I wouldn't be here. So I always want to honor them. And like I said, this is just the first part of a series that I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to do my famous grave tours. Nothing is changing. I'm just adding this as an added bonus. And I really appreciate the feedback that you all gave me that led me to actually do these videos. And I would love to hear from you again. Please comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see. Find me on Facebook by searching for Whit Docs. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you again for joining me on this, another journey, and I will see you again soon.